Assalamu alaikum dear students. In the series of learning C programming, we are discussing function in C. In the previous video, we have discussed how to pass string to a function. Everything regarding passing string to the function have been thoroughly and minutely discussed in previous video. And in today's video, we are going to discuss one more concept, that is how to return a string from the function. How the function is going to be returned string. चूंकि अस पढ़ान फंक्शन सी एस मज तो पत्स वीडियोस मज कि कितन हेकान स्ट्रिंग पास करित अकिस फंक्शन तो आज वोस वीडियोस मज वो कि स्ट्रिंग कितन हेकान रिटर्न करित फंक्शन कितन कर रिटर्न स्ट्रिंग that already discussed in today's video very minutely. So with the help of the program, example program, we will discuss how to return a string to the function. First of all, we will write here the header files hash include stadio.h stadio.h hash include corner.h hash string.h. So first of all, we should make it as our habit to include the header files at the top of the program. After that, now what we want that a calling function, that a called function should return string to a calling function. अछि आसान कि called function जैसा आसान छे सगज string करें return का calling function वापस string return a calling function. That we will discuss in today's video. So first of all, here we will write the definition of the called function. You can like definition. First of all, there is some return type. What would be the return? For example, the name of the called function is display, and we want to return. For example, Yousuf. So display is the name of the function. Yes, call the function and now display. Now first up we should know what is the return type. Actually, what we are going to return? We are returning the base address. That means address of the first byte. Address of the first byte of this string is going to be returned to the calling function. That address here, what we are going to store? We are going to return the address. That means address. What type of? Character address. Because string is a character type. String is actually a character array. So our return type is here asterisk, because a statement pointer to this, pointer to the first byte. We are going to return the address. So this is the definition of the called function. So in the main function, for example, this is our main function, void main. It's just a main function. In the main function, here also what it is going to return? The called function is returning the address of the first byte. That means, again, for example, this is Yousuf, Y-O-U-S-U-F, and in the memory, these are the Yousuf. For example, the address of this is 100, this is 101, 102, this may be 103, 104, 105, and 106, because it is a null character. So, what is the address of the first byte? The address of the first byte is 100. Here, this 100 is going to be returned to the calling function. This function is calling function considers man is the calling function and display is the called function. वो man से करना call display ऐसे man से calling किसे display से called function. तो इस called function इसे return करना address of the first byte. In the string, actually what is going to be returned? The address of the first. Here the address is the character type because it's the character array. Because string is nothing, it's the character array. So address of the first, that is 100. 100 gasan return. Calling function. This main function. So when the teacher said here, we have also declare a variable of type pointer type variable actually this is address return. The pointers are the special variables which store the address of the under variables. This pointer variable special address store. We cannot store the data in the pointers. Pointers data store we are the pointers store the addresses. Here the care, for example, this is a pointer, asterisk pointer. For example, PTR. First, I am declaring PTR. Then the PTR 100 is get return that will get stored in PTR. And here we are going to call a function, display function. We get a display function of call. Display function is correctness call with no return, with no parameters, arguments. Go argument kihin. Yet was pass current key argument, but kisi function return your current address of the first byte. That is address of this byte. That is 100 is going to be returned to this function, main function, and here it is going to store PTR. And after that, we are going to print the string is %s pt or, and that's okay. And after declare this the main function, here this is a function call. The display function is going to be called by this main function, and obviously there must be a declaration of the function. Declaration of the function. What is the declaration? Declaration, we know that we can also say it as prototype of the function. We know that declaration of the function contains 4 parts. First is the return type. Second is the name of the function. Third is the in parenthesis is the parameter list, and last one is the semicolon. So what is the return type? Here what is going to be returned? Here this function is returning the pointer. So here the return type is character asterisk because care asterisk. And what is the name of this function? Name of the function is display. And what this function is going to pass? This main function display. Nothing is going to pass. None. Null. Pass. Null void. So it is a declaration of this function. This is a program. With the help of this example program, we will discuss how this display function return the string to the calling function. A display function, call function return current string. That is the concept that we are going to discuss in today's video. So in the memory, it's a memory actually. First of all, we know that execution of every program, C program starts from the main. So in the memory, this is the stack memory. Some memory frame will be allocated for this main function. For example, this memory frame has been allocated for this main function by the memory manager from the stack. And in this, you can see declare current of variable PTR. Go here, it is a PTR. At present, it contains some garbage value. Garbage value. And after that, execution this line, the control will reach here. PTR equal display. Here the function call. You can get function call. And control will reach here. You can display function call the function control what display is. And in the display, some memory will also be allocated for this function as well. Display is closer to our function. Memory allocate. Return Yousuf. But this is actually, what is this Yousuf? It is, we can say it literal. It is a literal, character literal. It's just a string. Return Yousuf. But now the question is, why this Yousuf has been stored? The memory means stored. We know that the computer memory is basically divided into 4 parts. Yes, the memory आसान अख मुझे सोरे किस्मिक 4 पार्टन मुझे डिवाइड आसान गमस अगर अस वुचो के मेमोरी छ आसान अख मुझ फॉर स्टेट मेमोरी प्रत कुनि मेमोरी छ अलग अलग पानी खासियत अलग अलग प्रॉपर्टीज अलग अलग बिहेवियर so we can say that there are 4 different parts of the computer memory. Obviously the computer memory has been divided into 4 different categories. First one is the stack memory. Second one is some heap memory. Third part of the memory is the memory for global and static variables. And the last one is the memory for this code and text. Good son actually is memory which is some soar qism memory cha asan divide karan godne gay kya age stack memory There is heap memory, trim gay memory global to static variable and khatr, and suim gay the memory for this text and code khatr. This is code word lakanche and khatr memory. But there is the nature of these memories are different. First of all, here this stack memory. Stack memory kya hai? Stack the characteristic of stack memory is that as soon as the control goes outside of this function, the stack memory gets vanished. Static memory is vanish. Such as release. You take control that means agar for example return one character. Why go return? You get working. Stack memory is vanish. This is the nature of this stack memory. The yes heap memory. Heap memory retains the data. Heap memory throughout the program retain data. So vanish because actually heap karan heap memory at the runtime. When we are going to allocate a memory at the runtime, as at the dynamic memory allocation pewanches. They calak and malloc karan istemal, tamsat yes memory use karanchi, such as karan heap memory. We can say that this you should display it is, for example, stack memory petty message. Ahmed said got a PTR, such as stack memory must. The display also some memory has been allocated by the memory manager from the stack to this display function as well. But this Yousuf, where it is going to store, it can't actually store. It can't jump. It needs to be stored somewhere in the memory. Store in order to access this, first of all, it should be there in the memory. It is stored in some separate memory. It is like a separate memory, stored, not in the stack memory. So we can say here this is separate memory for heap memory. This is a read only. Read only memory. You see, you should directly store it. It is stored in some separate memory in the memory. This is read only. We can only read this memory. We cannot modify the contents of that memory. We read. We cannot write anything on this memory. Yousuf modification because it is stored in the heap memory, we can say, or in some memory which is only read only. So, for example, this is the memory block. It is a memory frame for this Yousuf. And what is going to return? Here, return Yousuf direct PTR. So, what it is going to return? It is going to return to the first address of the first byte. What is the address of that? That is 100. That 100 is going to be returning to this display function. Yes, the display function is 100 return. That means address of the first that is 100. So we store PTR. Why is it PTR? That is the man. Here this PTR contains now 100. So this PTR now points to this 100. This PTR should point karan kat 100. So with the help of this PTR, this pointer PT, we can access this memory. We access. And after that, this is printer, the string of PTR. The bar actually gets it. Sorry, Yousuf gets it. Print. Okay. So one by one, by using this return statement, the Yousuf is going to print here. But actually, what is going to be returned? Return. Actually, here the pointer is going to address of the first byte. That is pointed to the first byte. So return. That means 100 is going to return. Sir is string return, but address of the first byte. Agar for example, agar ye stored in the heap memory. For example, agar ye stack memory, agar ye stacks Yes, direct keyhen. That will also discuss. Let's terminate. So here, with the help of this pointer, we can access this memory as well. We can print Yousuf. You have main memory but main program function also put at the print. Correct. This is the one way of returning a string to the function. Second way to return a string to the function. For example, agar bracketness, if I want that बच्चों यसान कि नसा बकराने यूज इस्तेमाल ये मेमोरी कि इंटरनल मतलब हीप मेमोरी का या बकराने सेपरेट मेमोरी इनको इस्तेमाल के तो वेतन क्या कर बकरों बड़ा कितना सी फॉर एग्जांपल केयर str equal to return str. That is. Take care. I have now modified this. First, the control will go to the main memory. First, kr pointer ptr जब हमको रखा pointer ptr पूरे साथ में declare. ptr print display लेकिन ये फंक्शन आगे ये डिस्प्ले फंक्शन दे कॉल कंट्रोल किया स्ट्रिंग लेकिन को ऐसे डिस्प्ले मुझको ऐसे इतना सा फॉर एग्जांपल str string Yousuf that means लेकिन को मैं ये मुझे Yousuf yes now string display return str display str. Actually, what does this letter str contains? str contains the address of the first byte. str में क्या छु अगर 100 छु या 101 102 103 104 105 and slash 0 106 and this contains the address of the first byte, that is 100 छु असम गसान उस return करान main function 100 and that is going to be stored ptr. But यदि ptr से पर गसान छु यदि ptr में store गसान छु असम क्या 100 ये 100 छु गसान असम store. That means now this is connected with this. Each one connected through str 100. It is point that now this ptr points to first byte of the address of the first byte. This first byte which 100 achi point karan. But return str whenever this control goes outside of this body of this function. You see str, it is local to this function. str chu local ka display function. Yem satas control gasan chu outside the godnu str gasan chu kotnas for address of first byte gasan chu display this memory gets erased. Display function chu gasan erase release gasan memory because it is stored in the heap stack memory. क्योंकि इस story का stack memory है तो तितना रोज़ान जितना एफिस control चाहिए. As soon as the control goes outside of this body of this loop, ठीक है actually you should local to this memory, local variable चाहिए str. क्या जी? अन्य scope चाहिए. The scope of this str is only for this display function. As soon as control goes outside of this display function, this memory gets released. The memory चाहिए released. So as a result, we cannot access this memory. We cannot access it. But now, how we can access this? What is possibility? Static. इसका रकम इसका कोई क्या उस बना static. बस इतना है. Static care str. मैं बोलो इतना variable आ मत static. I have declared this character variable, this string variable as a static. Which character equivalent declare as a static. Static means now the scope of this str is throughout the execution of the program. जो तक ये program execute करसान तो तंच हमें scope. वो यम साथ गोल्ड byte of this memory गच्छे address gets return, 100 gets return, this memory will not get released. This memory gets released king. Because this memory yes str khutru str sorai. This is declared as a static variable. Are you getting? Go, I can tell you these are the different ways of declaration of the string in this called function. In this way, we can return a string to the main function. I hope now you have now understood how to return a string from the function and what is the effect of declaring a string in the calling function and the called function. What would the effect of that on the output of the string? Now, inshallah, in the next video, we will discuss one more concept: how to return pointer to the string. How to return a pointer from a string. Return pointer from a string. Here we have discussed how to return a pointer as well. As a pointer, because it actually returns the character pointer. But in that video, we will discuss different types of pointers: an integer pointer, float pointer, double pointer. That will be discussed inshallah the next video. Till next video, take care. Bye bye.